There we go. I've hit level 60. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish off the remaining few chapters of this story zone, and then we're going to discuss how the leveling experience was in Shadowbringers. Shadowlands, not Shadowbringers at all. Completely different MMO RPG. Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Yes, Tuesday, the new World of Warcraft expansion Shadowlands was released after delay, after a long gap of 8.3, whatever. And this is the first time in 8 years that I have not participated in the alpha testing or the beta testing. I had no interest. Battle for Azeroth to me was absolute garbage, so much so that it was sort of the straw that broke the donkey's back. I don't know if that's I think Warlords of Draenor was that really, but it was just enough was enough. I didn't honestly feel as if the game was worthy of me paying £10 a month to play it. Whereas other MMOs which I was subscribed to, Final Fantasy XIV was well worth its buck, and The Elder Scrolls Online, the other one which I'm subscribed to, I thought well worth its buck. I got much more enjoyment out of those two games than I was World of Warcraft. And of course, we did have the gap of when Blizzard banned Blitzchung. I said that I refused to play Blizzard or Activision games while his ban was active. They let the full 6 months, the full extent of the punishment run, so I didn't touch or play or pay any money to Activision Blizzard for 6 months. In actual fact, it kind of went on longer because I think it ran out in May. Although I played Warzone after May, I haven't put any money into Warzone. I've been playing it free. And then it was September, I think, when I thought that the World of Warcraft expansion was going to come out, that I resubscribed to do the pre-expansion event. But of course it got delayed, as did the pre-expansion event too. So yeah, it probably went on for nearly the best part of a year, about 10-11 months before they got a single solitary penny out of me. Now, did I have massive interest in Shadowlands? No. But obviously my channel was built up for 6.5 years on just being a World of Warcraft channel. And even though for the last couple of years my content has diversified, and I want to thank everyone who's allowed me to do that. I truly do. You've allowed me to do things which I never thought I would do, TV, film, other stuff, other video games, and all that kind of jazz. I'm very, very grateful for you allowing me to do that. It's made my job much more interesting again, much more enthusiastic again. And the last couple of years, I have felt as if I've been revitalized on YouTube. I felt like a new person, particularly early this year in March, where I had the honor and the pleasure of in being invited onto podcasts with Bowles Trek and Nerdrotic, Gary for Nerdrotic, and Starry-Eyed Girl, and then that led to doing stuff with Geeks and Gamers and Jeremy, which led to doing stuff with Critical Drinker, which led to EFAP, and these content creators I feel are phenomenal. I really do. When I'm not doing something, streaming, making a video, these are the people that I genuinely watch. These are the content creators whose videos I look out for, who I get a lot of pleasure from watching, have a lot of fun. The other day, Critical Drinker did the Dark Knight Rises video, took it apart. I love the Dark Knight Rises. I think it's a great film. I think it's misunderstood in a lot of ways, but did that distill Did that dilute my enjoyment of his video? Not at all. I thought his arguments were very well thought out and well-rounded and well executed. So it doesn't matter if you agree, disagree with the opinion. I do like the position that these people come from, and I believe it comes from a legitimate, honest perspective. So when Shadowlands was on the verge of being released, I put feelers out onto my sort of WoW portion. If there was still there, I'm sure plenty had dropped off because I'd stopped doing the WoW stuff, and that's absolutely fine. That's their prerogative to do if they just want WoW content. But I was really surprised at how many stuck around for the other stuff and are still here, and I'm very grateful for that. Like I've said, as well as the new audience which has come on too. So I put some feelers out if people wanted me to try the new expansion to see what I thought, and people were like, yeah, give it a go if you want. We'll watch, we'll see. So I purchased it on Tuesday, and then Monday technically, and then 11 p.m. on Monday night, which is midnight Tuesday in Europe, the expansion released. So this video is really going to discuss, as you can see from the title, my leveling experience, my journey from 50 to 60, and what I think going forward from hitting top level. So first and foremost, my initial reactions were all caught on stream on a video which is live for everybody to view on this channel. Hasn't been switched to members only. I want, if people want to see that, I want you to see that. And I have to say, the first reaction that I got to Shadowlands wasn't so good. The little bit that we did in the Moor was not very engaging. And then we went over to Oribos, which kind of felt a little bit tooth-pulling at times, the way that they wanted to show you around. And then the first zone, because I believe you go through a linear experience at least first time. The first zone that they thrust you to, sorry, I'm looking over here because this is where the map is, because I'm not too familiar with the names, was Bastion. Now, the zone looked okay. It looked fine. It's not the nicest looking World of Warcraft zone I've ever seen, but there were really nice little areas. But it was like standard kind of affair. There were some gorgeous little bits hither and dither. And I still believe that the art department put their heart and soul into their work, as I'll discuss a little bit later on as we go through the zones. But the actual quest content in Bastion, to me, was mind-numbing. I mean, mind-numbing. I know it was late in the UK. I know I was tired when I was doing it. But people could just see on my face. They could just see on my face how bored I was. And they were putting in the live chat, they were just like, God, you look so bored. And I'm just like, I'm trying not to. I'm really not. I'm trying to, But it is crushingly boring. I didn't particularly get into the story of the zone. I thought the angel people, whatever they're called, yes, we're going to have those sort of words. I'm not going to be like the mocked. I'll be like, those chaps with angel wings and shit. I didn't find their story particularly interesting. I wasn't brought along really for the ride. I didn't really connect. And I thought to myself, has WoW now gone so big in its story? Because, once upon a time we're picking turnips in Northshire Abbey and stuff. And here we are, dead in the afterlife, living, walking, fighting against gods, blah, blah. It's gone so extreme. I thought, am I going to be able to relate to anything in this expansion? Am I going to be able to relate to any story? The reason, of course, why the Illidan story and the Arthas stories were so good, probably the Arthas being much better, you know, I think it stands head and shoulders above all, is because they were very relatable characters. They were characters that had fallen from grace. But they were, even though they were now monsters, so to speak, you could still see the humanity and the torment of their decision-making process. Now, of course, the Illidan one was dealt with much more in depth in Legion, but the Arthas one, of course, we had the whole of Warcraft 3, and then we had Wrath of the Lich King, and so that's why I think it's so revered, because it was such a tragic story. But when I'm dealing with unknown angel-winged gods, my brain's just like, I don't care. You know, these people are already dead. They're in the afterlife doing afterlife shit anyway. What do I care? So I was a little bit nervous that if this was a taste of things to come, I was going to have a very lean experience when it came to the leveling process. Thankfully, for me, the leveling was actually quick, though. So I did find myself, even without doubly experience boost or anything like that, did find myself running through the quests and leveling up with relative ease. So I believe that when I finished streaming, I did a 4-hour stream, 1 hour build up, 3 hours of the expansion. So when I did 3 hours of the expansion, I believe I'd hit level 52 and maybe halfway to 53 or something, or a little bit towards 53 anyway. So it seemed like the leveling up process was going to be pretty quick. I came back the next morning. I was up early at 7 o'clock to receive a delivery. And then I played a little bit of WoW. And then around 8:30 in the morning, I said, I might as well just stream. So I flicked on the stream and I did another stream up to midday, 1 o'clock in the afternoon or something like that, to push things further. And I essentially cleared out the whole of the Bastion zone. Main story, all side quests. And that's pretty much the last time, I think that's the last time that I did a WoW leveling up stream. So off camera, I was kind of a little bit concerned. First zone, I didn't feel it. I didn't care. I wasn't having fun. I wasn't getting any gear. I wasn't switching anything out. So it was feeling very boring, very mundane. And then the second zone that we hit was Maldraxxus. And Maldraxxus was a much better zone. The story was more engaging. And I think one of the reasons why I liked it more aesthetically, considering it was just like a war zone, was the fact that it felt kind of Warhammer 40k-esque. It felt like there was like a bunch of plague bearers and stuff like that, and it sort of felt like we were fighting against the forces of Chaos and Nurgle and stuff like that. So I did find that I connected much more with that zone, and it gave me much more of a pleasurable experience. The story was fine. The main story, it was more the aesthetic and the almost the RP, I think, that I'd created in my head, which made the zone feel better than it might have actually have been. But the story was fine in itself. Lots of betrayal, lots of Machiavellian stuff, you know, very Shakespeare. Everyone betraying others, and it's all towards the, you know, big guy reveal and all that. And so when I again completed the zone, I emptied out Maldraxxus. I did the main quests, all of them, and I did the side quests. Now, I was told that before you can progress anything, you have to finish all the story quests in the zone. So I thought, right, by the time I'd finished this, I think I was level 57. Like 57 and a half or something. So I thought to myself, okay, for the next two zones, I'm just going to do main quest. I'm going to ignore the side quest completely and just do the main quests. And so after Maldraxxus and all the plague stuff and the Nurgle stuff and the 40k stuff, I felt a lot more buoyed by it because I'd had a much better experience. And then I went into Ardenweald, and Ardenweald was a two-edged sword for me. This is the fairy zone, and what I was keeping a keen eye on was whether or not the game was copying Final Fantasy XIV. Because obviously there were a lot of superficial parallels between Shadowlands and Shadowbringers, and if you took screenshots out of context, maybe, then it looked like they were stealing a lot of stuff. And yeah, we went to Ardenweald, which was very much the Elmeg area. So there were some similarities, not as many as I thought. But I mean, when we get to Torghast, I'll briefly talk about Torghast, which you can see. This is Torghast on the screen that you're watching. Their version of the Everlasting Dungeon. You can see that it's borrowed heavily from Final Fantasy XIV's Endless Dungeons. So Ardenweald was a two-edged sword. Why? Because, again, I felt the content was boring as dirt. I thought the questing for the first three zones in general was really poor. Just collect, kill, collect, kill, collect, kill, collect. I felt as if there was so little variation on anything to stimulate me. And although I kept saying, but the caveat is, folks, I'd rather have a boring leveling experience and a really good endgame experience, because leveling only takes up such a small amount of time in the lifespan of the expansion. There's also that little nagging bit at the back of your head, which is saying, yeah, but when you get onto the world quests, this is where they tend to steal the world quest from, which is an existing quest that you did while leveling up. So I was like, if this is all there's going to be, then world questing is going to be a very dull affair. That's where you really hope that there's a little bit of ingenuity with their questing system. And so although I found the actual physical quests themselves awful in Ardenweald, because it was just kill, 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 and I was bored out of my mind. I needed a change. I needed a break. I needed variation. The story in this zone, actually, I really enjoyed. I think it was the story so far that I thought was the best. I really did enjoy it. The Ysera stuff I thought was very nice indeed. I liked the reminiscing. I like the what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my goodness me, my brain's gone dead. The reminiscing? I think I might have said reminiscing. The flashbacks. The flashbacks and stuff to Legion when Ysera died and all that jazz. So yeah, that was great, and the rebirth of her and whatnot. I did really enjoy that. So I left Ardenweald kind of sort of sighing, because it was like, that was a good story, but my God, was that wrapped up in some terrible content. Really boring and dull content. But the zone itself looked okay, looked nice. Maldraxxus, of course, was a wasteland. And then the final zone in the leveling experience was Revendreth. Revendreth was fucking great. I loved Revendreth. I was like, oh, thank God. At last, I've got something that was just a zone and a story and everything just seemed to work for me with this one. You got the vampire people. Maybe it's got a very British and old British style 18th century aesthetic. Kind of Gilnean-esque, but a little bit woe. And it was great. It looked absolutely gorgeous. The zone looked gorgeous. The story was really good. It was really fun to do. There was levity in this whole thing as well. And so for the last little bit, because this was now the final push, I as you saw at the beginning of the video, I hit 60 before I'd actually finished the stories off. So I had to complete the story mode, then go finish. So I was level 60 for a good, you know, a good hour or more, an hour or so, just finishing off the story quest for this. But it just hit all the right marks. It was just a great little zone with beautiful aesthetic, and I wanted to spend more time here. And so when you hit level 60, and when I finished all the quests and I was sent back to the main hub, which is Oribos, you have to make a decision on which covenant you want to go with. Now, because my sort of attitude to the world of Warcraft has changed drastically, I didn't want to look online and which has got the best perks, which is the strongest of the covenants. I went by the Warhammer 40k rule of cool. I wanted to make my decision based off which ones I thought had the better armor, which ones I thought had the better mount, which ones I thought had the better aesthetic, and which ones I would really like the most. So it to me, it boiled down to two, which was Maldraxxus and Revendreth. And because I just felt I had more fun in Revendreth, that tipped the balance. It tipped the balance. So I went and I signed with the Revendreth covenant based off that criteria. So going forward, I went into Torghast a couple of times, and that's a fun piece of content to run, legitimately fun. I don't know if you can do it as a group as well, but you can do it solo, and the solo experience was great as a warlock. I'm literally going through everything, as you can see in this, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And the little bits of questing that I've been doing at level 60, I've had, a bit of fun with. Dungeons, I haven't really paid too much mind to. I've done 3 of the 4. I haven't hit the item level to go into heroics yet. I think I need a 3 more item level to qualify. I mean, I could get into it very easily if I wanted to, but for me, there's no rush. I'm not that WoW sort of player anymore that I used to be. To me now, it's just really about having some fun and trying to get some enjoyment. So I've got a couple of weeks left on my WoW subscription. I'm going to see what things are like after a couple of weeks. I have been enjoying the Torghast experience, so we'll see if that can carry me a bit further. And so I'm willing to kind of have a look at the endgame content. I think it'd be unfair not to. So altogether, leveling experience, content wise, quest development wise, not very good. Pretty damn poor, to be honest with you. Very boring, very dull. Story wise, Maldraxxus' story was good. Ardenweald's story was good. Revendreth's was good. Bastion's, I could take or leave. I wouldn't say it was bad, but it didn't connect me at all. I just didn't care. So the stories have been okay. And Torghast, like I said, it's been decent fun. Bit frustrated in the mall, though, that you can't mount up. You can mount up everywhere, but you can't mount up in the mall. You can kill some mobs and steal their mounts for a limited run, but that's kind of proving a wee bit eye-rolling. So I'm hoping that something's going to be done about that, but we'll see. We'll see. So content-wise, not so good for the leveling process. Torghast is good. The dungeons which I've done, I've enjoyed for the most part. Leveling experience, leveling stories, good fun. Revendreth, to me, easily being the best. Aesthetically and fun-wise. And we'll just, like I said, a couple of weeks' time, let's see where I am. Am I still playing? Or have I already lost some interest in it? I guess we'll find out in couple of weeks. So there you go, folks. That's my journey to level 60, and that's my leveling experience with World of Warcraft Shadowlands. Hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do get a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and YouTube for live streaming links. They're all in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.